And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. In this video we'll be discussing these eggplants. So I've got one here. I purchased two over the weekend and I intend to plant them today. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll read a little bit off the card. So the name of this particular eggplant, and I'm going to absolutely butcher this by the way, it's called Listada di Gandia. I probably absolutely butchered that name, but so what is it like? It loves full sun, so I'll probably plant it somewhere in front here. It loves regular watering. That's good. I'll plant it close to my tomatoes because they also love regular watering. They need to be planted about 70 centimeters apart. They grow to about 40 centimeters in height, and you can start harvesting them after 13 weeks. So why is it an heirloom? A stunning heirloom with showy lavender and white stripes that's early to fruit, productive and beautiful. The 15 to 20 centimeter fruit are almost seedless with a thin skin and sweet, fine textured flesh. Seed Savers listed as an 1850s French heirloom. Others insist it has an Italian background, and some even say that it's Spanish, but there is no debating its popularity worldwide. Harvest from 13 weeks, yields about 3.5 kilos per plant. Now, if you wanted to have a lot of, I suppose, volume and kilograms, you would probably have to plant a few of these plants. This plant is not going to yield the same as, say, my tomato plants, which yield about 10 kilos per plant. But if you've ever seen an eggplant or handled an eggplant, you'll notice that it's quite large, but it doesn't have a lot of weight to it, predominantly because most of it is fiber, not necessarily too many vitamins, but it's got a lot of fiber. So it says growing tips. Plant seedlings in a warm position when soil temperature reaches 15 degrees, which it has, and after risk of frost has passed. Plant in full sun and enrich the soil with compost and roll-rotted manure, which we have in pots. Use a premium organic potting mix. Mulch and water regularly. Harvest as soon as the fruit is ripe. Stake at planting. So I've got plenty of stakes, which I plan on staking both my tomatoes today as well as these beautiful things here. And I'm going to plant two today, and then I'll probably plant another two in a couple of weeks time. So yeah, let's go and stick these into the ground and see what happens. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to plant them here, but I've got this silver beet. I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to plant one about here and one about over there. But first, before I do that, I need to level the ground a little bit. So I'll pull some of this stuff out first, level it a little bit. I've got manure and all that sort of stuff happening already, and then I'll stick it in the ground. Now what I'll do is I'll move a little bit of this soil, and I've got some potting mix, which I'll mix with the soil just to sort of make the soil a bit more, promote a bit more air and stuff like that. So as you can see, I don't know if that's going to focus really well. Hopefully it does. All of this has a little bit of wood chips inside. It's got all sorts of organic matter, which means that yeah, it'll stay a lot wetter, a lot longer, and it'll just promote that growth a lot better, I think. And that's what I usually mix with soil when I start planting. I just get a bag of the most cheapest compost that I can, and then just mix it with soil. Sometimes I even get a few more bags, but my soil here is actually quite good. I only got that no longer. So yeah, it's good to mix compost with your soil as much as you possibly can. And I always sort of roughen it up a bit, so just the roots have, they know that they need to start spreading, and then just do a bit of that to it, and boom. Some people would compact the soil as well. You can only do that if you want to. I'm not too fussed about it, to be honest. And then let's say about 70 centimeters apart, about here, we'll dig another hole. So right there. Look how nice this soil is. Like, it's just so beautiful and soft. These grubs everywhere. And then we'll just get this, take it out, and then just plant it. You can tell that this plant here is a little bit dehydrated. This one here is a little bit dehydrated because it just, when the leaves start to sort of like be not as crisp, and they start sort of like sagging a little bit, you know that they need a little bit of watering. And mind you, I got this on Saturday. I didn't water it on Sunday, and then today it's already starting to sort of wilt. And now I'll just give both these two, as well as the tomatoes, a little bit of a watering, and yeah, that should be that. I'll also add a little bit of manure, and I'll probably just go and do that right now. So there's these pellets that we can just spread around around the plants, and just sort of mix it into the soil itself, and that'll slowly absorb into the soil as nutrients. So just see how quickly the water absorbs down. That's what you want out of soil. You want the soil to suck up that water really well, and be able to hold that moisture for as long as it possibly can. And the other thing you can probably do to help the water retention here is to add a lot of mulch as well at the same time. But because I'll be increasing or lifting these up by another 200 mil, which means basically for the same height that it is at the moment, that means I'll have enough height of the edging here to keep that mulch inside. Otherwise, what I did last time, I had a lot of soil and I put mulch on top, and as soon as it started blowing, it would just all blow it into my living room. So it's certainly not something that I want. So I'm not going to put mulch just yet. When I add another one of these sides, then I'll add some mulch to it. Thanks guys for sticking around. If you have stuck around this far, you are amazing. If you did like the content, press the thumbs up. If you don't, press the thumbs down, and at least tell me why you don't. And if you want to subscribe, please do. I'll have content like this hopefully every single week, at least during the sort of summer, autumn and spring periods, while there's a lot of gardening stuff happening, and then hopefully a lot during winter, because I actually did do a lot during the winter. I just didn't have time to film it all. So thank you very much for coming past, and I'll see you in the next video.